learning to value the traditional cinematic ideals of what a filmmaker is, and looking at that intentionality and those kinds of things over against, like, we're saying, oh, you can do commercial work and all these kind of things. That's not saying we don't have a value and we should learn so much more. That's why we're saying blend these worlds and not separating them. I think only creates more of the same copies. Like, you see that happen all the time in the commercial space, of just kind of like copies of copies of copies. Like every car commercial sort of is starting to look kind of the same. But when you start blending,
and there's trends.
Worlds,
trends come in and go, you know.
Yeah. So like, I think if we go back to the roots, and I think where I'm going with this is, I feel like often the film nerds that want to call themselves a filmmaker, it's like, oh, we've gone to the roots, we've watched the masters, we've watched all the classic films, and they kind of thumb their noses at anything that's like, you know, it's like the Star Wars, you know, people, where it's like anything but the original 3 movies is like trash, you know. And well, a lot of times on that debate, that's another whole thing. But I guess what I'm saying is like that mentality of like, there is a value in going back to that. We're not discounting that part of it.
Sure.
We're saying let's bring that into both sides. You know, the business knowledge into the film world, and the filmmaking traditional cinematicness, real cinematicness from the film world into the commercial world.
Yeah.
I don't know if that ties.
Well, I wouldn't turn down questions or helping anyone from either of those sides, even if they're a YouTuber or they've learned from YouTube how to make films. A lot of wedding videographers shoot that style, and I think it's very helpful for a run and gun thing.
Absolutely.
But as with any of where we're at, we have to look at where we want to go and say, are we happy with where we're at? Is it sustainable? If not, where do we need to move to?